Good evening, all. So, is the presentation visible?
Yes, madam.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay. So let's start. We are now in the last session, the final session of research methodology. So, in our previous three sessions, we have seen about the types of researches and what is actually a research is all about. And then how to formulate the research questions. That is, it should be clear, concise, and to the point. And you can give options to the samples you have selected for conducting the research. That it can be an open-ended question or closed-ended question. So those options you can give it to your the sample, whichever, no, like whomever you have selected, or whichever attributes you have selected to conduct the research on. And third is literature review and its purpose. And we saw like how to know like go with the literature review, that is referring to the already published researches. So taking a reference from the already published researches in journals and no like other resources. And why there is a need for no like checking reference, no, or going on with citations from the previous researches. What is the need for it and why is it so important? There is no like two ways to go with the research. Either you can take a research title, which is something new that is on the area which research has not yet been conducted yet, and you can no like carry on with it. Or otherwise, you can take a research topic or a research attribute which has already been no like researched. It has already been researched by some other scholar, and they haven't, the scholar hasn't given a clear or precise solution to any problem or event, or not no like given any precise conclusion. So you can no like take up that particular topic and you can no like re-research that topic, re-research the event or the re-research those projects, whatever it is. And last week, I think we discussed about research design. However, what is the importance of like going for a research design before like starting off with any researches? Because it gives you an overall idea, a clear blueprint of where to start, when to end, and uh, what is the like the type of sample you're going to choose for, on which demographic factors you're going to choose your sample from. Or you're going for the whole population, or you're just going for samples for researching purpose. And what is the maximum number of data you're looking for to conduct the research? So what are all the like literatures you need to review and take for us, take uh for citations and references? So all this, so there should be a proper plan before like starting off with any research. So if there is no proper plan, you don't know when to start, when to end, where to start, where to end, and what should be the like the data collection method you have to use, and how to go with data analysis. So that would be like completely like a confusing situation. So obviously research design is the most important and a key activity in research before conducting any research. Okay, so the final session, that is today's session, it's going to be about data collection and data analysis. So with this, we are going to end today's session. Okay. And you have to bear with me that no, like I couldn't switch on my video because of a bad network here. It is heavily raining in Kochi. Okay, fine. Let me start. So, process of data collection. Before getting into deeper, version of what is data all about and what are the types of data, methods of data collection. So, first we will know like initially we will have an overview about know like what process, know how to go on with the process of data collection. Okay, the first point being define the objectives of the survey or experiment. So this you have to mention in your research. So you have to define the objectives. So for what reason, for what purpose the research is being conducted. Whether it's a fresh research or you're not going to re-research something which has no like already been researched. And the second point is define the variable and population of interest. So this point, no, you have to have a detailed, like information has to be, like published in the research paper. That is, no, like you have to define all the variables and, no, like population. Population, obviously, it can be taken as, no, like the whole data. So, which is of your interest? So, which one you're going to choose? Either it's a whole population or it's a sample, or it's no like what are all the variables, no like you're going to know like analyzing this research. So, everything you have to make it very clear. And the third point is defining the data collection and data measuring scheme. So, which method you're going to choose for data collection and data measuring? There are no like quite a number of collection methods. One is no like questionnaire. You can hand over the questionnaire to the customers or to the no like the samples and sample population, and you can no like get back the results, their feedback, and you can otherwise you can know like go with the survey form, and yes, in that way also you can know like get back the feedback from the results, I mean feedback from the customers or from the sample data. And other than that you can know like go for observation. So without disturbing anyone or without disturbing any attribute, you can just observe the events or happenings with related to your research. So what type of data collection? So out of these three or four, what type of data collection or data measuring schemes you will be using for your research purpose? And the last one, determine the appropriate descriptive or inferential data analysis techniques. So either it has to be descriptive, that is your research conclusion, it has to be descriptive. So finally, you will be coming to a conclusion. You will be publishing your opinion, right? So you have arrived to a conclusion. So you will be publishing, you will be, like letting know the others your opinion about, like on the basis of whatever you have researched now, whatever you have learned from your research. So it can be a descriptive one, or that is your own description, or it can be an inferential data analysis. That is no like you have referenced from already published journal. It can be an inferential data analysis. So already know like a data analysis is done by using some technology by other researchers. So since you're taking that particular research and you're re-researching it and you're going to know like publish the conclusion, so you can take that inferential data analysis. So these are the process of the data collection. Okay, so I was now like mentioning about the second point. So this defining the variable and population of interest. So we are going to now see what it is all about. So a variable is something, no, like which keeps on changing, right? So there is no, there is no permanency in the variable. So it keeps on changing. So for example, age, it keeps on changing, climate, seasons, and the food habits. So everything, no, like it keeps on changing. And so, to be specific, a characteristic about each individual element of a population or sample. So, you are going to study about each individual in the sample or in the whole population. So if you're going to research about, no, like the average age of, no, like faculty members in an institution. So that is the example given here. So say, for example, no, there are 100 to 150 employees or in the organization and in the institution, and out of that, 120 employees or faculty members, including HODs and the, no, like departmental heads and everyone, the junior faculties, research fellows, everyone. Okay. So in this case, you can no like go with the whole population. That is, you can select each and every individual among the 120. And you can no like go with no researching. You can no hand over them the questionnaire or the survey back home, or you can observe all these 120 no like people. So here observation is not going to be fruitful because here you're going to study about the average age. So the age factor, it has to be published, or it has to be, like given by the faculty themselves. Or otherwise, you can go for inferential data collection. That is, you can, like refer the, go for a reference with the records of those family, I'm sorry, for those faculty members. So all the information, like their their, biographical details will be, like will be the, will be available with the college management. So you can ask them and you can go through the files or documents or their resume submitted to the management or to the HR department, and you can come to know about the age of each and every faculty. That is not 120 faculty. So here you are selecting the whole population and not just a sample. On the other hand, you can select only the sample. Hardly select out of 120, select a range between 30 to 50 faculty members. Again, that would be too much. Select 10 to 20 faculty members. So that would do. Just randomly you can go with the selection, or departmental wise you can go with the selection, and or gender wise you can go with the selection, whatever. Take say there are 40 female faculties, and the remaining 80 or male faculties. So take 10 female faculties for researching and for getting their age, and 20 male faculties for getting their age. Now you have a sample. You are not going with the whole population, but you have selected some sample. So this is because not to uh, this is for to minimize the time taken for research and the energy, you're minimizing the energy, you're taking for the research. So in either way, you cannot go with the variable and population of interest. So initially in your research, you have to mention that. So which one you're going to choose? Either you're going with the variable, that is you're going with the sample, or you're going with the whole population. So which one you're going to use as your data for going on with the research, the sample data. Okay, so there are two types of variables. One is qualitative and another one is quantitative. So qualitative is otherwise can also be called as attribute or categorical variable, whereas quantitative has other names such as numerical variable. Okay. So what is a qualitative variable? So anything which cannot be quantified, it comes under qualitative. Like color you cannot quantify, smell that you cannot quantify, interest you cannot quantify, and the quality of anything that those factors you cannot quantify, you cannot mention it in numbers, right? So it's just a feeling, or a sense of feeling which the sample data or the population has to provide to you. So you can take this as the take the research to the next level by using the qualitative variable. And then is the quantitative, which is quantifiable. So everything, addition, averaging. So all these mathematical attributes, that those will come under quantitative. So two types of variables. Under qualitative, you have nominal and ordinal, and within quantitative, you have discrete and continuous. Just give me a second. Okay,
Mm,
Ansip, Mr. Ansip, you haven't muted your audio, and Ms. Rajeshwari, you haven't muted your audio. Please mute your audio. Mr. Ansip, thank you. Okay, thank you both of you. Okay, okay. So qualitative, you have two sub-classifications, nominal and ordinal, and quantitative, discrete and continuous. Okay, let's see one by one. Okay, so nominal variable. Nominal variable, qualitative variable is no like it's otherwise called as categorical variable. So that thing no, I forgot to mention here. So qualitative is otherwise called as or mentioned as categorical variable. So under that you have nominal and ordinal. So let's see, like what is nominal and what is ordinal. So nominal is something, no, like which that categorizes or describes, no, like of an element of the population. No, it has a description of the element of the population. Whereas ordinal is something, no, which incorporates an ordered position or ranking. So it means nominal variable will not be having any ordering position or not will not be having any ranking. Uh, to be more specific, I can like give you an example of say if you're taking the like research topic is about say marital status or the educational qualification, any demographic factors, okay, or age. So all these like it comes under the ordinal variable. That is not you can order in the position or ranking. Whereas nominal variable, you cannot know like order them. That is, you cannot position them no with the any of the mathematical values. And then you have discrete variable. This is the quantitative variable which can assume a countable number of values. So it cannot give a countable number of values. And another important point is this variable can assume values corresponding to isolated points along a line interval. So when you're mentioning your research findings on a line interval, so you can know like correspond it to the isolated points. That is, there is no gap between any two values. That is, it's closely related. Too much, no, like too much closely related. And then is the continuous variable. So it can assume that an unaccountable number of values. So intuitively, continuous variable can assume any value along a line interval. And yes, of course, since it is no like, though it is continuous and it can no assume any value along the line interval, there is a possibility of no like a gap between two values. So discrete and continuous. Discrete is no like there is no gap at all because no it's completely no like one on the other. Whereas continuous is no something no it there can be no like space between no like two values because no like it is no like mentioned in the line interval in no like in a continuous way. Okay, now we are coming to the main point that is data collection. So it's one of the most important stage in conducting a research, and it starts with determining what kind of data, whether it's qualitative or quantitative required, followed by the selection of a sample from a certain population. So again, you have a chance here, you have a choice here. There is no either you can select the whole population or just you can go with the sample from the whole of the population. So if the population is no like uh, quite a big number, like 50,000, 10,000, 1 lakh. So it's no like time consuming, it's a tedious process, no like, and it's a no like a draining process. So you're going to select only samples from that population of 10,000 or 50,000 or 1 lakh. But if it is quantified, if it is not like it can be manageable, you have enough time to conduct the research, you're ready to get the feedback from each and every sample data, or say for no like your sample size is no say around the whole population is around maximum not more than 5,000, and you have no enough time to conduct the research. All you need is the genuine data. Then you can go with the individual collection of the information. So you have to take some time. So all these 5,000 will be like selected as a sample size, and like information will be like sort from them individual. So in either way you can go with the data collection. So it depends on the time frame. That is like what is the like what date you're planning to end your research. So before which date or which month you're planning to publish, like publish your research conclusion. So it depends, like how urgency you're in. So what is the need of data collection? Why there is a need of data collection? To get information for analysis. For analysis, you need to have some data in hand, right? So to get information, to get idea about real-time situation. So to get real-time situation, you need to collect the information from the present data, not from the past or not the future. You're not going for any forecast here, but on the first hand, you have to collect the real-time situation. That is, collect it from the present samples or present events. And the third one is for comparison between two situations. So you're going to compare two different situations. So for comparison, you need to have some data in hand. So this is why we need the data collection. Okay, there are like two types of data. The first one being primary data, and the next one is secondary data. So what is the primary data? Data collected by researcher by himself or herself, and data is gathered through questionnaire, interviews, observations. Okay. So here the data is collected by the researcher. So researcher like takes time and effort, prepares a questionnaire, analyzes each and every question, make sure these questions are like valid and very much is needed for the research purpose. So now everything is like the research design is like clearly drawn and specified. Time limit is specified. Sample size is also like taken, that is specified. So now everything is done and you have to collect the data. So here the researcher goes into the steps into the market or like steps into the field and collect the feedback or observe each and every data by himself or herself. Data is gathered through questionnaire, interviews, and observations. So in any way, like in any methods, you can collect the data. And we have secondary data. So data collected, compiled, or written by other researchers. That is no through inferential methods, like examples, books, journals, newspapers, and not only that, you have like many research papers like available in the research bureau. So every country will be having a research bureau on various topics and modules. So for management, they will be having like thousands and thousands of like research documents which are submitted by the researchers and scholars. And for medicine, for management, for engineering, for construction, for astronomy, for each and every topic or module. So researchers like conducted will be like, so those results will be collected and kept in the research bureau. So this is available almost in all the countries where the research is being given at most important. So you can check those the research published researches, and you can know like, or either you can go through any textbooks or any reference books or journals or newspapers to collect the secondary data. So here you are not meeting anyone in person to collect the data. Whereas in primary data, you're like meeting in person. There is you're meeting the sample in person or meeting the population in person to collect it. But in secondary data, you're not going to meet anyone for collection of data, but all you have to do is refer each and every resources available with related to your research topic. Okay. So the first and foremost thing of like the data collection is interview method. Um, Either you can go with like handing out the questionnaire and handing out the feedback form, asking them to fill out their names, contact addresses, or their contact email, their WhatsApp number, their landline number if available, and their age, and what is the purpose of like buying this particular product or acquiring the service from the organization. So like everything can be mentioned in the questionnaire or the survey form, and the customer can be asked to fill in the feedback form. So initially it was not like a physical document. That is not like a printout of the questionnaire will be handed over to all the customers, whoever the researcher has selected as the sample data. But nowadays, with the use of technology, it has become more and more simpler, both for the organization as well as for the consumers and customers. So all they will need, all they will receive is an email or receive a WhatsApp message or a text message from the organization. The organization will be asking for a star rating, like from 1 to 10, or give a 5 star or 4 star rating. And now the customers or consumers can give any descriptions as well. They can now mention what they would like to add with the existing product or service or whatever. And the questions can be open-ended or close-ended. So open-ended is what is your idea, or what is your theory about it, or what is your feedback? If you have anything to suggest, you can suggest it to the organization. So these kind of phrases you can see in the questionnaire or survey back form. So you can ask the customers or consumers to go with it. So effective way of gathering information, interview, yes, and involves verbal and non-verbal communications, and it can be conducted face to face, that is in person or by telephone or online or through mail. And nowadays, even feedbacks are sorted from other social media sites, apps like Instagram and X, which is previously established as Twitter. Now it's X, right? So whatever. So with the technology driven data collection, things has become so easy and simple nowadays. All the customer has to do it, give a star rating or give a rating between 1 to 10, and mention in the description box that why the customer has selected a 4 star or 3 star or 5 star for that product or service, and that can be not published. The survey questionnaire. This is the most common data collection instrument, and so why it is useful to collect quantitative and qualitative information, and it should contain three elements. It is first one is introduction. So even though it is a questionnaire form, a survey form, so the main objective of conducting the data has to be mentioned in the survey form. You can know, you may have noticed, I don't know, I mean, now there is no physical documentation, so you might have not noticed, but previously, so on any physical document, customer feedback form or a uh, what do you say, feedback form. So there will be a phrase, on the top of the form or at the, on the bottom of the form. It will be this is for research purpose only. So you can read that sentence, read that phrase, the whole phrase. It would be printed on the questionnaire or it would be printed on the survey form. So this purpose, the purpose of this survey form or the purpose of this questionnaire is for research purpose only. So it has to contain the introduction. So this introduction has to be mentioned in the research form. That is to explain the objectives. So objective of conducting the research has to be mentioned. And the second one is, this is just to keep the customers share with the customers or consumers that what is the purpose for conducting the research, why you are not conducting the research. And they have to believe you, right? You can't just go on with sending a feedback form to any customer randomly and asking them to give back the feedback. So it should be done in a professional and ethical way. And the second one is instructions. So instructions to fill in the feedback form must be clear. It should be a simple language and short. It shouldn't be too much elaborate, because now people don't have time to know read each and every word or phrase in the the suggestion or or the instructions. They don't have time. They don't have enough patience to know to go through all the guidelines or the instructions printed on the survey form. So to make them very comfortable, to make these customers or sample data very comfortable, always use a simple language on the survey form or on the feedback form, and make sure the points you have mentioned in the survey or feedback form should be very short. It mustn't be too much elaborate. You shouldn't ask them around 20 to 25 questions in the feedback form. No, that is not at all right. So maximum 5 to 6 questions, so an overall view about the product or service given by the company. So maximum 5 to 6 questions, or you can extend up to 10, not more than that. So, and the third one is it should be user friendly. Avoid difficult or ambiguous questions. So, the customer has to understand the question. Whatever you're trying to ask, they have to understand why you're asking this. What is that you're asking? So it should be very clear, the phrases used in the questionnaire form or in the the survey form, the sentences. No, it should be clear, and it should be error free, and it shouldn't be using any high profile language. The language should be very simple, and try to avoid no difficult or ambiguous questions. Don't get too much, ask any too much personal information from the customer. The customer may not be willing to give it. Okay, so don't ask too much information related to customers educational background or their marital status or their likes and dislikes for a particular attribute. So don't go with those questions. So three things you have to understand. So the questionnaire form or the feedback form, survey form should have a clear introduction explaining the objectives, why this research is conducted, and the second one is instructions, so how to fill out the feedback form. And the third one is it should be user friendly. So avoid difficult questions or questions which is quite difficult to understand, or no ambiguous questions, which the customers can't answer. So don't make them confused, or don't make them think a lot about the question. No, it has to be very simple. It has to be very precise. It should make the customers or the sample size feel comfortable in filling out the questionnaire form. Okay, then comes the observations. If you're not using the survey form or a feedback form or a questionnaire, the other way you can collect the collect the data is by observation. So observation can be verbal, or it can be non-verbal, can surrounding the atmosphere, culture, and situation, and need to keep meticulous records of the observation. So detailed information has to be observed. So, I have noticed, a few researchers, there is one or two researchers observing the traffic in a particular highway or a speedway in a particular time frame. That is, from say from morning 7 to 8 or 7 to 9. So, how many cars are passing from this particular signal to the other signal, or from this street to the other street, or from this building to the other building, or from this area to other area. So these kind of researchers, I have encountered, I have seen. So all they do is just observe. They just sit in a comfortable place, on the highway, or any road for that purpose, wherever they want to do the research, wherever they want to observe the things. So they just sit comfortable, and they just keep on counting the cars which is passing by. So they set a time frame, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So how many cars have passed by in that particular the runway or whatever it is. So it has to be meticulous. They will not be missing even one vehicle, one four-wheeler. So there'll be no like making note of each and every detailed information. Like few researchers I have noticed, like they even will be mentioning the brand of the car. That is no like the company, the company, like which has no like manufactured the car. So for example, no like Tata, how many Tata cars have passed by? How many Maruti cars have passed by? Or how many Volkswagen has passed by? So these meticulous records in detailed information will be collected by the researchers just by observing. And the third point to be noted is can be done through discussions, observations of habits, rituals, review of documentation and experiments. Okay, through discussions also observations can be like done. There is no like making any two parties like discuss or debate with each other on a particular topic, a particular research topic, and through their discussions, by just observing their discussions, you can even collect the data. Okay. So now data collection is done, and we have come to the last and final step, which is data analysis. Now everything is done. The data is now like available. Mr. Roy, please mute your audio. Okay, now you have the data in your hand. So the last step is you have to analyze the data so that you can come to a conclusion. You can publish the result of your research. What is your opinion? And what is the public opinion? What is your opinion? What is the the scholar's opinion? And what you have observed so far? And what no like and what are what conclusion you have come to? So to get this done, you have to use the proper, analytical techniques and methods to go on with the data analysis. So you have descriptive statistic methods and inferential statistics methods. Now let's see what is descriptive statistic methods is for organizing and summarizing the data. So descriptive is clearly you're explaining uh, the uh, the trend has increased or it has decreased. There is a substantial outgrowth, or you can mention as there is a a decline. So using these words and giving the the visual representations such as pie charts, bar diagrams, or now sometimes the graphical representations or tables, you can describe your research analysis, so whatever you have analyzed. So through these methods you can go with the detailed analysis. There is another way which is inferential statistics. So this is just for using sample data to make the general conclusions about the populations or about any trends. That is using the sorry, using the inferential information. That is using the sample data to come to a general conclusion. This here you're not taking the whole population. You're just using the sample from the population. Just by studying, just by researching, or just by analyzing those sample data, you're concluding that okay, so the whole population is not going towards this trend, or no, the whole population is not following this particular attribute. Whatever you want to conclude, you can go with that. So these are the two types, that is descriptive status of analysis and inferential statistics of analysis. Okay, let's compare between descriptive and inferential. So descriptive is the steps involved is organize, summarize, simplify, and presentation of data. So descriptive, what you have done is organizing and summarizing the whole data. So clear, no, very keenly you have observed the deviations or observed the events. So first you have to organize the data, then summarize the data, simplify the data, then the presentation of the data. So why there is a need for simplification? Because the data you collect maybe having unwanted information as well. So these information is not actually required from the research purpose, so which is not no correlating or corresponding to the topic of your research. So these unwanted information you cannot discard. That's why no, you have to simplify your research. Because when you uh, mm, Miss Sudar, you have to mute your audio. Guys, please be, like little responsible. Like, see, it's disturbing the class, right? Okay. So organize the data, collect all the data, organize the data, summarize the data, and simplify. Discard all those data which is not actually required for your research purpose. For example, no, like say you're collecting information from, say, a cricketer. So collecting information from a cricketer. So a group of cricketers, no, like so those are your sample data, and you're going to know like collect the information from them, and you're asking a particular cricketer, one cricketer about no the the what was their mindset no before stepping into the ground. um, so okay, research now the cricketer is saying no like so this is how I feel, and no like my I will be experiencing a little headache and nausea, and my hands would be shivering, and my heartbeat would be like high, and like these are informative data, right? So which is really required, because you have to know about their physical and mental conditions before they step into the ground for playing for their country. Okay, so now this cricketer is adding something no extra to it. No, like usually my what I do is no like my usually like sometimes my wife calls me over the phone if she's not able to like come in person to see the match. She calls me over the phone, and she like informs me that don't worry, you'll be like playing well. I'll pray for you and everything. And last time I came to know that when my wife called me before I stepped into the ground, when she called me, she was even mentioning that few guests have like come to our home. So we were chatting about this for some time. Now this information is not actually necessary, needed for conducting the research. So the cricketer's family members visiting the cricketer's home when this cricketer is not at home, and his wife receiving the visitors and the guests, and no like showing the hospitality. So that part is not required here, whereas the other part, that is no like their close relatives or friends calling over the phone, and no encouraging them, and no like emphasizing them no like with good words, and no like motivating words. So that data is required. But the other one, that is no the guest being invited, so that data is not required. That's why we are simplifying the data. So discarding all those data which is no like unwanted for the research. Then finally, presentation of the data. Okay, when you're taking inferential statistics, you have to know like that steps are very simple, because you're not going to break your head no by collecting no the information from each and every sample. Here you're just going to know like get reference from the previously published data and the results. And so generalize from samples to pops. That is no like lot of information is available on one particular topic. There may be like 5 to 6 researchers who have done the research, and like each one would have like arrived to different conclusions. So select like generalize the conclusions. Like don't take each and every conclusion as your research sample. Generalize the conclusion. So overall each and everyone will be like all the 6 or 5 researchers will be like accepting or like they will be uh, more or less they will be coming to one single conclusion. The way is like they'll be using different words to like to come to the conclusion. They may be using different words or different phrases, but if you see in depth the meaning or the actual context, they will be arriving to a particular, a fact or an information that would be mentioned in the conclusion. So generalize that. So don't take all six different, attributes or the conclusions and and go on with the sampling. And hypothesis testing. So you have to test the hypothesis and relationships among variables. So all the variables will be available. So you have to show the relationship among, say, six researchers have done the research on the same topic, and they have come with six different conclusions. So there are variables because no, the way they have conducted the research or the samples they have used, and the statistical methods they have used for deriving to one conclusion. So everything is variable. No, everything is completely different. So if you find any, try to find the relationship between all these six conclusions, all these six variables. Then come to one particular, generalize it and come to one particular conclusion. Make it as one single conclusion. So this is how inferential statistics can be done. Okay, and the other thing is in either of these methods, you can involve any of your assistants to collect the data or to get the inferential statistics. There is if you want to save time and energy, if you have any person who's reliable, and you feel that a helping hand would make the process very easier, then you can have an assistant to conduct the research for you. That is, you have to conduct the research. The collection of samples and datas, and then going on with the statistical selecting the, I mean, going on with any of the statistical methods, so that can be done by your assistants. The only thing you have to do is closely monitor what that assistant is doing. Okay, so then we have the descriptive statistics. That is, you have frequency distributions and summary statistics. So under descriptive statistics, frequency distributions, no, it mentions to the number of, say, that's an example and just an illustration, number of S that fall in a particular category. This is just an example. So this is frequency. That is how frequently the letter yes is coming in a word, coming in a sentence, or coming in a phrase. It's being mentioned in the paragraph or whatever, or in the book from pages this to page that. So all this it can be taken for sample. So here it means frequency distribution. Whereas summary stat is describing the data in just one number. So graphical representations, you can make use of the graphs, tables, pie charts, and other diagrams as well. So when it comes to inferential statistics, you have to go with the sample. That is, out of the whole population, you have to select the sample size and conduct a research on that sample size. Either you can collect the data directly from each of the sample members, or again you can go with the inferential method of collecting the data. So in that case, if you're going for inferential method, you don't need sample at all. All you have to do is get the samples directly from already published research journals. So that is what you have to do. But if you're going with the other method, you have to go with the sample collected from picked out from the whole population. This is how we have to go with the inferential statistics. So draw inferences about the larger group. So select the sample size, say for example, you're going to conduct a research on, say 1 lakh people in a particular city. So it can be, the topic can be of anything. The research topic can be of anything. So how you are going to select the sample size here? That is you can divide. I think I have already mentioned this example, but anyhow, I know I'll explain it again. You can divide the whole city into different zones or different locations, and then collect sample from each zone or each location. An average sample size is collected from each and every zone or location, and the studies or the research will be done on that particular sample, and the results will be published, and that conclusion will be taken as applicable for the whole population. There is no generally coming. So it seems that maximum number of individuals in Kochi city prefer spicy food, because no, the most of the samples no you have collected, no, they prefer spicy food. So you're coming to a conclusion that generally Kochi people no like spicy food. So this is how you're coming to the inferential statistics. So chain of reasoning for inferential statistics. So this is how the inferential method is done to conclude. And so from the population, you're no like selecting a sample here. So instead of going on with the whole population, you're just selecting the sample. So out of that sample, you're now collecting the data and measuring the data. And once you have measured the data and come to a conclusion, you're not taking that conclusion as an inference to the whole population. So you don't have to mention, no, I have collected 50 from the population, and the published results shows that 50 individuals in Kochi city prefer spicy food. No, that is not the actual conclusion. That is not how it should be done. So 50 is taken as a reference for the whole population. So to conclude, you have to say that the whole population, that is the Kochi people generally like spicy food. So we have come to the end of the session, and I'll be staying for 2 more minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask, or otherwise you can leave the session. We will meet in the next. Okay, so online surveys, Mr. Arshad Rasa. He has raised a question. Online surveys trustworthy or not? You can know trust online surveys, because uh, to whom you will be sending the survey. Obviously, to the people or to the population who are either they would have purchased the product or the service from the organization, or they may be persons known to you. So obviously they will be giving a somewhat genuine information. So you can trust online service. Hope
Okay,
I've
thanks, ma'am.
answered. Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so there is no questions. We can stop here. We'll meet in next video. Bye.